Hello, I'm Ed. I'm a director at Faith in Kids.
I'm Amy. I'm the resource writer at Faith in Kids.
Welcome to the training video for lesson 2 of our Growing Up resource. I am male or female. First of all, let me say, if you're feeling a little nervous and worried about teaching this lesson to children, well done, you are a totally normal human being.
Almost all of us find having conversations about our body, puberty, and male and female anatomy difficult, so parents can tend to avoid them until their children raise the issue. As volunteer leaders, it can feel stranger to be having these conversations in Sunday school. Surely these are an at-home topic.
These conversations are tricky and increasingly hard for parents to navigate. So it is good and helpful for their church to step in and offer support. This lesson is aiming to do just that, to begin the conversation well and then encourage parents to continue it.
We want our children to have confidence in the truth God teaches and compassion for the brokenness we see in the world around us.
This lesson can be part of telling God's good story to our children as they grow up. So, have our downloadable resource handy. We're here to make it seem less terrifying, and we take you through a few of the essentials and a couple of the tricky bits.
Let me tell you about Millie. She's in year 6 and going swimming with her class. They're getting changed in the group changing rooms before their lesson. Millie's body is changing. She's beginning to grow up from a girl into a woman. Millie feels embarrassed about the changes in her body. Many of her friends haven't started puberty. Their bodies haven't changed yet. She is hiding behind her towel in the changing rooms. She's terrified of starting her period. If she could stop her body changing right now, she would. Boys have it so much easier.
Imagine Millie walks into your Sunday school class this week. Today, Millie hears that God gave her a female body. It was lovingly chosen just for her. Millie hears that it's good to be a girl. It will be good to be a woman. The changes she is going through are part of God's good design.
Imagine if the truth taught in this lesson today helped her mum feel supported in starting the conversation with Millie at home. This could help reduce anxiety about periods and open up conversations about some of those normal feelings she's experiencing without pressure or agenda.
On issues of gender, and even the gender children might prefer to be, our children are growing up in a world where these topics are polarising. We can feel like we need to stay silent, but the world around them isn't silent. We need to support one another in stepping up to tell our children God's good story about being male or female. He knows and loves them perfectly and always wants what is best for them, unlike the other voices they hear. In Lesson 2, the Bible verses we're focusing on are Genesis 1 and 2 and Ecclesiastes 12.
Genesis 1:27 sets the overriding principle. Before we talk about male and female differences, the Bible is totally clear. Both male and female are good. Both are image bearers and both are necessary for God's character to be seen.
Genesis 2:7, God makes a man. His body is shaped by God and the breath of life breathed into it. His body is essential to his identity.
Verse 22, God makes a woman. Her body is formed by God, a different process for a different person, female body and soul, purposefully woven together. Her body is essential to her identity, and without her in the picture, something was missing. Isn't that right, Ed?
Of course it is, Amy. We finish with an encouragement from Ecclesiastes. Remember your Creator in your youth. Our children can be wise as they grow up by listening to their Creator and remembering that they are not their own, but His. The one who made them is wiser than them or their friends.
So the truth that changes me for this lesson is, our body tells us whether God made us male or female. Puberty is when our body changes, but our sex does not.
We want our children to trust God's good design for themselves while still being able to offer love and compassion to those who are struggling.
So faith in kids looks like children who understand that their sex has been chosen by their loving Creator and that growing up is good. The downloadable resource is written for you. In there, we walk you through how to teach this lesson. If you haven't read it yet, press pause and go and read it. We'll be here when you're done.
These conversations are important, amazing, and they might make you nervous. If you're lacking the confidence to go for it, we're here to cheer you on in a section we like to call
Optimising your amazing opportunity.
In these sessions, we are all about identity. This lesson is helping children see that the body God has given them is part of who they are.
With younger children, 7 and under, there's lots of fun to be had with the Amazing Body Quiz. This age group love the awe and wonder of their little bodies. They have little awkwardness, and we're helping them to see that their bodies are very good and very different. We are male or female down to every single cell. It's good to be a boy, and it's good to be a girl.
With 8s and over in teaching time, it's worth considering the age of the children in your group and the stage they're at in the school year. Children in years 5 and 6 are being taught in school about male and female body differences and the changes that happen in puberty. Often, these are covered later in the school year. It would be really good for church, in partnership with parents, to be ahead of that curve so that these conversations can start at home with your support in a local church.
Some children will be aware of those who struggle with their bodies and want to change them or want to be known by a different name or pronoun. It could also be a struggle for some children in your lesson and their family members. We'd love this lesson to be the start of talking about this truthfully and compassionately.
The series overview visual could be helpful here. Thoughts, feelings and opinions are big, real and difficult to handle. If we're not standing in that secure place with God telling us the truth, we could make very different choices. In this session, we are teaching our children to know that God has made them male or female and that doesn't change. We are helping them to be kind to others who might disagree.
It's also a normal part of growing up to wonder if it would be better to be the other sex. Some of this is natural curiosity. Is it better? Is it easier? I'd like to try it. We don't need to panic, but we can be clear. God did not make a mistake with the body He gave you. Next.
Heart and hands.
Making the most.
This is the moment for the children to do the talking so that they can work out what it looks like to take this truth out for a drive into their lives, their thoughts, feelings and actions.
With the little ones, this is a moment for personal connection. As they make fingerprint people, they can think about how God made both male and female. And we get to chat about the body that God gave them and what He says about it. It's very good.
With older children, we're opening up the conversation. We ask, when might you think it was good to be the other sex and why is that? We can say that question out loud because it's a normal part of development to wonder, to be curious, and these conversations can reveal misunderstandings.
A child might say, I wish I was a boy so that I could be a firefighter.
I wish I was a girl because I love dancing. Girls can be firefighters, boys can be dancers.
God has given them either a male or female body. Their body tells them something about who they are, but not everything. They get to work out how they will live and praise God with the body He has given them, be it firefighting or dancing.
Some children might have questions about those who want to be the other gender. You don't have to answer them. You can direct them back to what they have just read in the Bible. What do you think God would say? Ask more good questions. Why do you think that? Does that sound like what God would say? Who can we trust most on this? You might be starting a conversation. Encourage them to talk with their parents. You could say something like, I can see you've been doing some really good thinking about this. That's excellent. Your parents can help you to think even more.
The case study pictures are there to have a conversation about these issues in their lives without making it too personal. So as we look at the picture of the boy in the group of children who are being split into the group of boys and girls, as he looks longingly at the girls' group, we get to practice speaking the truth in a way that is loving and kind.
Wherever the conversation takes you, return to the big idea for today. God made you, male or female. Your body shows you which you are. This doesn't change.
Finally,
take-home sheets, how to connect with parents.
parents need help. Encourage them to listen to the podcast and use the take-home sheets to continue the conversation about bodies, particularly for older children for whom all of this is very much on the near horizon.
Be brave enough to start a conversation with the parents so that they can be brave enough to start a conversation with their child.
As you teach this lesson, it might feel countercultural, unpopular and scary, but you are not sharing your personal point of view on a hot topic. You are kindly and lovingly pointing the children to what the God who loves them, who is eternally good and wise, says. You can be confident in him.